See, I promised myself that I wouldn't fuck up this one. But I fucked up this one. Yo, fuck the coffin shit. One strike, I'm out. Yo, it's your boy, okay? Everything is out. Stop it shit. Back in the building, full effect. And I had to roll a blunt for this one. Yo. You know how you like your grandma always told you nothing good happens after 10 o'clock? For all you millennials, there used to be a commercial on TV. It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where you children are? Like, nothing good happens at dark. Anytime that I've ever been, like, into an issue or, like I've gotten arrested during the day or I've had problems with cops during the day, but all the bad stuff really happens at night. All the cool stuff happens at night, too, though. You know, like, but you take a risk. Because the boys are always around the fucking corner, yo. Last night, went to go see my grandma. Forgot something. Drove there. Came back. Drove there again. On the way back, I get a phone call. And I'm less than 2 miles from my house. Less than 2 miles. Get a phone call. I don't want to answer the phone because I'm on a main road, so I pull to the right. Not really paying too much attention to like where I pulled over at, where I parked at. I ain't paying much attention to it. I just pulled over. So after I pulled over, I'm on the phone, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, I'm talking. I go to leave, and guess who's behind me? Blue and whites. Holy shit. Pull the vehicle over. Honestly, in the moment, I didn't really understand what was, like, hear them. I didn't really hear them. I didn't know they were pulling me over. They flashed, pull the vehicle. I'm already pulled over. What are you talking about? I barely pulled out the spot. So I didn't know you were talking to me. You know, why were you behind me? Were you behind me, like, waiting for me to leave? I don't understand. You know, come to find out, I was parked in a no standing spot. But I didn't realize, you know, they could have stopped me then and there or asked me to move. No, they wanted to interact with me. So after like 2 minutes, and I immediately, like, I take the key out the ignition, I put the key on the roof, I get out the car, I said I apologize. I apologized right away, of course, because fuck did I do? Yeah, I'm gonna say sorry. I just don't want to deal with you guys. I don't have my license on me. There's a half a cup of alcohol in the car. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you guys. I did have a couple beers. So that must have been more than obvious to the not more than obvious, but I wasn't gonna lie to them. He asked me if I drank. I told him yes. Said what I was doing here. I said I had a phone call. I pulled over. I didn't want to drive while I had the phone call, and I didn't have my license on me. I gave him my ID number because I'm the person that always loses his license, so I have to order two. Give him my ID number. Runs by ID. Comes back to the car. Tells me, can you find somebody to take the car? I said, absolutely. I'll call somebody right now. I said, you know what? I'll leave the car here. I'll just take a cab. He turns around and he says, you know what? I'm going to drive. We're going to escort you home. If you swerve, if you do anything extra crazy, I'm going to pull you over and take you to jail. I said, what? Thank you, officer. OMG. Drove home like an old person. I got home and I was so grateful. And then I got to really thinking, you know, it's really unfortunate that police officers or police enforcement can't have to come with the same stigma that life does. You know, life is always a good and a bad, a up and a down, an in and an out, a ugly and a pretty, right? Police officers come with that saying they ain't perfect, they're humans. In the movie Transformers, Mark Wahlberg, he says, I think it was like Transformers 3 or something. He says that's what makes us, you know, us making mistakes and us fucking up is what makes us beautiful. Because when we make beauty, when we make magic, when we make things that are wonderful, then, you know, that's what comes out of it. They go hand in hand. And unfortunately, it sucks that sometimes people got to be, we're victims to it. Come on, look at the police officers that just acted erratic and beat that gentleman because they weren't practicing social distancing, and they found marijuana, and come on, and the guy had a camera, and come on, to certain points, one thing to tase a person, but now to like slap somebody in the face, you're abusing your authority. Officers have done it for years. The Rampart scandal. Look at Compton. Look at the LA police officers. Look at the documentary on Netflix and what 787 or 717, whatever it's called. Do you know what I mean about the dirty cop? They're not fucking perfect. They're humans. They're people. I'm not giving it an excuse. I never give an excuse for bad or ugly. I just try to understand, and I try to understand by bringing up conversation so that maybe in your brain you ask yourself why too. Why are the people that we give authority to protect us also have the ability to hurt us? And that's not only a police conversation. That's a big real life conversation. People you give permission to take care of you, to be there for you, to protect you. Those are the ones that are closest to hurt you, have the ability to hurt you. And why is that? Why if I have a problem, I call the police officers? But why if there's a problem, the police officers show up, and there are two type of officers? The officer that comes to help you because of the phone call is a different type of officer that comes when there's no help needed, but he has to show up. That officer that has to show up ain't always the nicest, and vice versa. That officer that comes to your house ain't always the nicest neither. I think at the end of the day, it does suck, but it is the truth. It does suck, but it is the truth, and be grateful. Like, I'm grateful. I can't tell you how many times that I've gotten out of a pickle because the cop was nice, man. I've gotten out of pickles because cops were nice. And yeah, I've gone to booking over a dozen times, probably 20 times. I've been arrested. I've dealt with my asshole cops. I've gotten my DWI. Last night I could have went to jail. You know what I mean? At any point in time when you get pulled over by an officer now, there is a fucking 25% chance, even if it's just a regular stop, and you just had to get a ticket, there's still a 25% chance that you look like that woman officer's husband, and that woman officer just left her house from arguing with her husband, and you look like the dude, and now she pulled you over, and now she's giving you her attitude, and now and it's same thing with a man that argues with his wife, and then he pulls over a woman, and the woman looks like his wife. They're only human, but they're taking it out on us. That's the fear that we have. That's that 25% chance that we get hurt. They're not robots. And I have that, not to sound bugged out or crazy, but I do have that conversation. Would it be easier if police officers were robots? Not, I don't know, Terminator shit, but if a police officer didn't have to risk his life on a routine traffic stop and walk up to the side of a pedestrian's car, right, the side of a person's car, and risk, because it's a carrying state, whether or not it's a carrying state, you walking up to this bootleg 93 Honda Accord with Juanito in the back seat. You see a bloated bitch in the right seat, and then you see the guy in the left seat that you just pulled over, who blatantly did something that you pulled him over for. Come on, man. You walking up to that car armed with your hand on your gun, with your mental in a place already, and now that person that's in that driver's seat, whether they're dumb, they just did something wrong, or they're absolutely doing something wrong, they feel threatened. This whole cycle, this whole revolving door honestly needs to be reevaluated. There was a point in time maybe where you can pull somebody over for doing something wrong, and there were people that righteously did that job. But somewhere along the line, people started abusing that power, and they didn't only start pulling people over just because they did something wrong, but now a couple months ago, there was a police officer trying to have sex with a woman he contained. Come on, they're nasty. They're nasty. Cops are not perfect too. They're people. But for the ones that do their job righteously, for the people that go to military, for the people that protect us, protect our civil liberties, protect our country. For the 911 that I can call right now, and whether they take half an hour or an hour, they will come. Somebody will show up and they will defend me. Hopefully, if I'm not in the wrong. But there's a chance they will defend me. I kind of rather call on a halfway bodyguard than not call on a bodyguard at all. If you really get down to it. No pussy shit or nothing like that. But just being honest. Certain situations you just can't handle. If somebody's in your house with a bomb, what are you going to do? You can't handle a situation like that. Those situations need to be left to the authorities to handle. And that's why I'm grateful to have them. I just wish that they would be better. If I'm being all honest, I wish they would be better. I wish that they would take their, like, my uncle's a sheriff, and great guy. I know he was the bully one or the younger one and the youngest one. You know how that goes. But you guys are, man, great guy. From what I know him, great guy. Sheriff, great guy. Like I couldn't imagine him being like a prick to somebody. I really could. But maybe it's because I never seen him in that light. As far as me being on the opposite end of his badge. Does that badge do something to police officers? Like, do they no longer feel like they are part of the human chain or race? Now they are one above because they have a badge and a gun? Is it a psyche? Do we need to evaluate our police officers a little bit better before we give them licenses to kill us or patrol us? These are big ass questions that, in all seriousness, I think we need to start probably try to answer. Because if not, the next step should be robotics. No person should die because they're trying to do their job, unless they're a stuntman. If you're a stuntman, I get it, but you shouldn't die trying to do your job. You shouldn't die pulling somebody over for a fucking. You shouldn't die. And then at the same time, you shouldn't be just given a gun because you passed a couple tests. Because 15, 20 years down the line, all those emotions that you had suppressed, you bug out one day and you lose your shit. And you go fucking rob a bank because you're a police officer. Or you go do something crazy or dumb. You kill your wife because you snapped. And that shit was always there, but that little bit of power influenced you in the wrong place in your life. It's a double-edged sword. A lot of people, ask yourself, a lot of people don't have these conversations before you go ahead and judge a police officer. And before a police officer goes ahead and judges us. Because when I say, we're us. If you're not a cop, you're us. If you're not military, you're us. And that's what's fucked up. That's what's fucked up in the bigger picture, because that's the truth. I know, I to some extent, I believe in authority and I believe in law. I don't believe in martial law, though. And what we're going through right now is almost similar. The difference is that we're not getting shot in the head when we step outside. But you can't be in groups. You will get tickets if your race isn't of Jewish nationality, that is. And that's another thing, too. They pick and choose their fucking battles. A couple weeks ago, they want to have a funeral for a rabbi, and rest in peace. But come on, social distancing, guys. What makes it better that you guys get to do it and nobody else have to follow the rules? Why not? Why do you think you guys influence nobody else following the rules? It's common sense. It's a revolving door. Do you think that anybody in death is like, I hope they're there? Who's at a dead person's funeral? The people that are alive. Not the dead person. And for you knuckleheads that are partying and being on beaches and a bunch of knuckleheads too. All these things are reasons why police officers are allowed to patrol us. Look at the subway trains. They just cleared out the subway trains for the first time in God knows how long with no more bums there. You guys invited this lifestyle to give these police officers authority to do shit to us. We're not perfect, and neither are them. But we got to take a step back and really consider what flame is bigger and whose pockets are deeper. And is it really worth the risk? Because honestly, I wouldn't do last night over again if you paid me. I just wouldn't. That's too much of a risk. Work too hard. Going to jail ain't no fucking joke, especially in this corona shit. Right? How many people are probably sitting in jail sick with this shit, or don't even know it? Or come on, we don't even know who knows what. This is too much. I think I'm gonna leave off this tangent too. I've been here way too long. I want to smoke my blunt in peace. I honestly feel like, one, we need to start respecting police officers. We need to start respecting them for the job they do. And when I say respect, I don't mean we have to talk to them and suck their dick. I mean we have to just talk to them like they're people. Like you would sit down and talk to your cousin or your uncle, your brother, or your aunt. You know, just... And if you don't have that capability to talk, express that too. Officer, I don't express myself very well. I apologize, but this is what happened. You know, at the end of the day, they aren't robots, but maybe they have to be treated like them. Maybe you have to treat them like finite robots that only understand certain responses. And other responses get their fucking wiring all mashed up. You know, that's the only resolution that I can see, and that's the only thing that gets me out of pickles time in and time out with police officers. Respecting them. Just, listen, my bad, I apologize, this what happened. That's it. It's nothing more, nothing less. Whatever happens after that, happens after that. You know what got you to the dance. And for police officers, I please ask, stop hurting us. Stop hurting us, man. We get it. You guys are the biggest gang in the world. Biggest gang in the world. You know, next to the military. But you know what I mean. You know, like you guys, we get it. You call one, it doesn't come. We get it. All of you guys armed, bulletproof vest. We get it. You know, training. We get it. Stop treating us like this. Stop treating us as if we aren't equal to you. Just because we're a little bugged out. We didn't make the choice to be police officers. Don't treat us like we're fucking like ants, though. Because that's when people revolt. And it's always sad when a cop gets killed. It's always sad when a cop gets killed. Because his job is Suicide Squad from the moment he signed up. You didn't have to have a run-in with a police officer. And at the same time, a police officer didn't always have to have a run-in with you and treat you anyway. Everybody just please start being more conscious. I'll leave y'all with that. Everybody just stop your shit. That ass. Stop your shit. Start being more conscious. Look at thy neighbor. You know what I mean? He looks just like you. Skin color may be different. Nose may be different. Ears may be different. Mouth. But he bleeds just like you. When you open him up, we all got the same things inside of us. Like on the inside. You know, your souls might be different. But even the fact that the word is a soul, that means it's connected. We all share it. You know what I mean? I'm out of here. It's your boy, OK? Everything is O. Skirt. Stop your shit.